was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared, and today we are discussing Injustice 3. And so, my problem, as you guys know, I am not the biggest fan of Injustice. Go figure, as a Wonder Woman fan, but I figured, it's up to Ladia plays. Yeah, I know. So, my thing here is, my issue with Injustice is twofold. I'm going to summarize it this way. Is that with Injustice, so the premise is that Superman accidentally kills Lois. Yay! And then Metropolis gets nuked. I'm just going to truncate the crap out of this. Metropolis gets nuked, and then Superman decides that not killing the villains is not solving the problem, so we have to kill the villains. Then Batman's like, no, we can never kill anyone. And Superman's like, Jason would be alive. And then they went to Bat. And the other problem is, as a Wonder Woman fan, Injustice straight up just character assassinates Wonder Woman. What's up, Tavia? So here's the issue. When I'm watching this, and by the way, yes, Taladia Play's been a man for 2 years. Yeah, man, thank you. So the problem with this is when I'm looking at Injustice, the whole thing exists just to justify the fighting game. And I said this on Super Wonder Legacy this week. And one of the things that I told Britt, this is basically how I would summarize Injustice. All right, you ready? Here is the perfect analogy. It is as if it is a sweater made by someone that has never made a sweater before. What I mean by that is there are so many plot threads in this comic where if you pull on one, it just. All right, Talati, if you want to join, I'll send you a link. But when you get into that, I'm like, with Injustice, it's essentially as if any of these characters act consistently with the way they should be acting, Injustice falls apart before Superman kills Green Arrow. And I even did this on Super Wonder. But so Robert and I were talking. I hope he shows up. And one of the things that we were talking about is how would we do like Injustice 3 in terms of a story and stuff. So, and we thought, how are we going to redeem Injustice? Because it is possible that Injustice 3 could be a dope story and it completely redeems the franchise. Or at least mitigates the damage. Because in certain ways, the damage is already done. So I'm just like, at a certain point, we got to think, should we just do this? And then, our boy is here. So let me do this.
And dreams of Krypton live in you now.
Welcome back, brother.
Yes,
Hello?
I know it's been a long time. I'm still in Ramadan. And
we lost you, Taladia. We lost you. Oh no, we lost him. Revive.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. I hope.
Okay.
No.
Wait, are you? All right, anyway. So, the thing about Injustice is that if you pull on one plot thread, the whole damn thing falls apart.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Try leaving and coming back in. Anyway.
Okay. Let me come back. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. So, that's the issue with Injustice, is that if you pull on one plot thread, the whole thing just falls apart. And it's one of those issues. And I'm thinking, how do we do this? Because the way because Injustice 1 happens. Now, Injustice 1, they had DC Comics people involved in the creative process. That's why Injustice 1 is not as offensive as 2. All right, let's try this again.
Round 2.
I can hear you, dude.
Yeah, so it's ending of Ramadan season, so I thought, why not, right?
Yeah, all right, it's good. So, as I was saying, the thing about this is the reason why Injustice 1 has a less character assassinatingly story in terms of comics and games because DC was involved in the story. Injustice 2, that was all NetherRealm. That's why you get like evil Wonder Woman much. So, yeah. But and yeah, it should have been a one and done story, but no, if it's popular, they will milk that. But anyway, so Talati, I'll start with you. What's been like your like exposure to Injustice? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What do you think of the story?
Well, you know where I stand with Injustice. You know I love Injustice, right? You know that I love the fighting game genre. So I first got exposure to it through Arkham Origins, funnily enough.
Oh, really?
Because Arkham Origins and Injustice were coming around at the same time. They were both like released within the same year. So technically I was excited, and they had like remember they did like this tournament thing for Injustice 1. They had Superman, Batman, all of that. That's how I got exposure to the DC NetherRealm's Injustice universe. And then after that was Arkham Origins, of course. But then within Arkham Origins, they had the skin for Injustice. So I was just like, okay, if they got that, I might as well pick up the game for Injustice, which I did, and I enjoyed.
Yeah, with me, it was like a buddy of mine had played it a lot, and he said, Jared, you should play this. So I picked it up, and that was my first exposure to the character of Slade Wilson / Deathstroke. So I was like, who's this guy that's just strapping guns to him? He looks interesting. But so I read the story, and the thing is, at the time, I was like, okay, it's a cool story. Then when so the comics happen, and the comics basically for Injustice 1 take place over the 5 years from the Joker screwing with Superman to the game. And overall, the characters act more consistently. So then Injustice 2 happens. And here's the problem with Injustice 2. Again, NetherRealm had more authority. And the issue is, then you had NetherRealm started to retcon a lot of stuff, like Wonder Woman's origin, so she hates men. And all of a sudden, everyone is like hype. Like all of a sudden, they even retcon something that happened in the comics, Taladia. The way the prison scene happens when Superman is like, killing all the prisoners in Injustice 2, the first series of fights. What actually happened in the comics is they were transporting all the prisoners to a prison at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they actually did this in the movie. And honestly, the movie is a better depiction of Injustice because guess what? They don't character assassinate anyone really in the movie. And by the way, Robert's here, so let's get him in here. What's up, Robert?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, long time.
Hey, Claudia.
So I was talking. So we're basically explaining. We're doing the context first of explaining Injustice because the issue is with that is the set. So and Robert, correct me if I'm wrong, but like 2, they just retconned a bunch of stuff.
Yep, 2 basically decided to. Well, they kept some of it from the comics. They just decided just soon to be like, nope, let's have Superman always been a jerk and everything. Let's have it be that Wonder Woman was evil.
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense with what was established. But anyway, and so that's where 2 got. And then here's the thing. Here's my 2 issues with Injustice 2 storyline, pun intended.
Yep.
It's that, okay, I'll start with Wonder Woman.
Here's the difference.
Go ahead.
First game, you had Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray. The second game, much like from City to Night, they decided to do it internal.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the part. That's the first symptom of the larger problem. And Sam says, I am a huge fan of Injustice. I love the first one. The second one, I feel oversimplified the game. True. Okay. So my 2 things, my 2 problems, ironically, revolve around Superman and Wonder Woman. Go figure. But so with Wonder Woman, again, it retcons that she was like the voice on Superman's shoulder, turning him toward evil. And that was never in the comics. That was never even hinted in the comics.
Yep.
In the 1 through 5 comics is what I mean.
Yeah, and I've said before, I'll say it again. I don't blame Taylor for any of this.
Not necessarily. I blame. I mean, I wonder.
Well,
how much,
we don't even know what was internal with some of the story beats. We don't even know.
Yeah, and NetherRealm themselves have issues with their female characters, but who knows?
Yeah, like
But-
what they did with Sindel.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first part, and they make Wonder Woman so bloodthirsty. Like there's a scene when actually in the part where in the opening cutscene of this series of fights where you play as Wonder Woman, she talks about how we shouldn't be saving civilians. We should be taking the fight to Brainiac.
What?
And I'm like,
that's not her.
even
No.
that version of Wonder Woman was like, we should save people.
I'll be honest. You know what? You know what I think their inspiration was?
What?
Kingdom Come, but missed the point entirely of why she got bloodthirsty.
Which she wasn't even as that Wonder Woman was still saving civilians.
That's true. Well, but as it got closer to the end, she was getting more and more bloodthirsty.
True. So
But I'm
then,
saying, so it's clear they looked at that and thought, oh, that's her whole personality.
exactly. And I'm like, tell me you don't read Wonder Woman without telling me you don't read Wonder Woman, Tom King. Anyway, so then to Superman. The game, the entire game story, as soon as Superman is released from prison, they start hinting that maybe this Superman could turn back to being a good guy, like they have where he sees the Justice League table, and then it's Superman looks at it, and you see like kind of a look in his eye, and then it's like they start to team up again, and then like Dr. Fate is like, it's so good to see you two fighting side by side again.
Yeah.
So you have that. Then as soon as you beat Brainiac, literally we're right back to the very beginning, as if all that character development went right out the window.
Like I've said before, at least with Injustice Master of the Universe, they at least had him verbalize his train of thought, going from I can fight, I'll fix it, I'll set things right to I'll fix everything.
Yeah, that again, if you just leave it non-vocalized, it looks stupid.
It does.
But let me be clear. That's why I prefer Injustice 1 over 2, including the comics, because 1, for the most part, they're still acting out of character, but not as wildly out of character as they are in 2.
The problem with the second comic, the 2's comic, is it's meandering because there's there's no depth. Unlike saying 5 years, which even then I think was a little too much to come up with filling in the gaps, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It was, it's like, but they didn't have. It's like just meandered. There were so many different wild plot points. And then you have the Harley. What is it back to year Injustice 1? You had the Harley Billy stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And then Sam says, I played Lex Luthor main and played Green Lantern Cyborg. Then Injustice 2, I played Swamp Thing. They removed Lex Luthor and moved combo strings for Cyborg.
Well, Lex is removed for obvious reasons.
Well, 3 guesses on who my main is.
Superman, Wonder Woman, and Supergirl.
Actually, no, because Supergirl is kind of hard for me to control. The ones that I play the most are obviously Superman and Wonder Woman, mainly Wonder Woman, and I would have to say Black Canary.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
Now, see,
interesting.
Black
Actually,
Canary is the one thing about them carrying. I'm glad they carried over from the comic with Green Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so actually, you know what? Real quick, we'll go around. I'll start with Taladia. Who was your main in Injustice?
Superman all the way and Batman.
All right, there you go. Robert, how about you?
It's been so long, but I would definitely say Batman just for getting off the ground. But once I actually got it going, actually Deathstroke in the first one.
Yeah, Deathstroke is so good in that first one. But so
yeah,
and
you know what I love
Tavius.
best? You know, sorry.
No, yeah.
Hold on, I think I got a delay. Hold on. I got a delay. I'll be right back.
Okay. And then Tevia says, it's confusing because Injustice 2 comic also had Wonder Girl and Connor against Superboy, and Tim Drake escaped the Phantom Zone. Well, remember, is that then they're taken by Brainiac?
No.
And
I'm
Robert
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I was gonna say was I love that the voice is J.G. Heltzer, which if you ever seen Star Trek Next Gen or more specifically DS9, he was General Martok.
Yeah, so Tavia brings up Wonder Girl Connor. That's the other thing in that comic. So Teladius. So Superman sees them as a threat. He throws them in the Phantom Zone in Injustice
Yeah.
1's comic.
Yeah.
So they get out. All right. And so Wonder Woman saves Cassie. She goes, "Cassie, it's you!" And then Cassie Sandsmark is so cold to Wonder Woman and goes, "You're still serving Superman when he put us in the Phantom Zone?" And then she's like, "I didn't know." And I'm like, "Okay, you know now. Why are you still simping for Superman?"
Exactly. What
you know-
was the point
Wait.
of?
Time out.
Sorry.
I was gonna say time out. The way Jared said that just makes me laugh. I swear, Dad, it makes me laugh.
I think Taylor was trying to do a Hail Mary. I
No,
personally think
I don't blame Taylor at all because that's an interesting story beat.
Mhm.
Because it could show them, it could show both sides that maybe they weren't necessary. It challenges the viewpoints of each side, but then they didn't do anything with it.
Mhm.
And again, not a dig against Taylor because he was trying something.
Agreed.
And then my main, I think, was Supergirl and Blue Beetle. All right, there you go. That works. Blue Beetle's also really good. But so the thing is so that's my position on Injustice on Injustice. Now, Robert, you and I had a interesting story idea for Injustice 3. So let's go into this. Actually, we'll pitch it to Taladia and see what Taladia thinks.
All
Go
right.
on. Bring
Okay.
it on, boys.
All right.
right.
First of all, we open up in the Batman Beyond future. Hear me out before anything. All right. And Batman has been stuck in the Phantom Zone still. We're going with the whole Batman 1 future. We have Batman Beyond flying around, but instead of having the Jokers, we have the Kryptonians, a gang of people who worship Superman. And they bust in and finally decide to bust in and free him from the Phantom Zone. But when he's out, he's giving it some thought, kind of like Dark Knight 3, when now Superman actually went through and finally thought things out and got himself in order. But right when he's doing that, something is eating away the world. So at the same time, we also have a Wonder Woman who's gone insane. She has gone to the worst degree. She, Superman, and Terry end up going back in time before time was eaten by Parallax.
Yeah, so we're bringing in a lot of different storylines in this.
Yep, but then it's later revealed that Parallax is actually an agent for either Perpetua or the Anti-Monitor or something.
Yeah, between one of those two. I'm more partial to the Anti-Monitor, but the point is, Parallax is an agent of a extremely powerful cosmic being. Because what we had to do, we have to top.
This has to be a crisis.
Yeah, and plus we have to top the threat from Injustice 2, which was Brainiac. So we're like, you can only ever do of the characters that they haven't done yet. You can only do like a crisis. Plus, it's a good way to wrap up the story.
Exactly.
Or reboot the story.
What?
True, or reboot the story, but we're operating under the assumption that there's only going to be 3 Injustice games.
Exactly.
So continue on.
Yep. So they're back in the present, and basically then they're trying. Now, actually, I don't think we went that far with what the present day stuff is.
Okay.
Stop them. We got to stop and start talking about. But one thing we agreed was Wonder Woman would be, future Wonder Woman would cause present Wonder Woman to have a moment of realization of how far she's going.
Like we can make it where future Wonder Woman stabs Donna Troy because it sees her as weak. It doesn't kill her, but it just shows that Wonder Woman, this is the way you're going. And she says, why didn't you, correct me if you're not me, why didn't you take up arms against Superman when you found out he threw Cassie in the Phantom Zone?
And that's what caused her to snap. Her realizing her hypocrisy is what drove her insane.
Yeah. And
how's that for an justification? That's what caused she realized her own hypocrisy. She loved the man, but she was being his simp, and she's the one who brought it about. But then her future self decides to to triple down without even doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
So it causes present Wonder Woman to have her epiphany.
And she's
Now,
like,
it doesn't retcon what she's done. It doesn't try to justify, ignore it and say, oh, she was under mind control.
no, nice illusion, Robert, because that comes later. But so you would have like various adventures, and we start to see like we could have it where there's like a bunch of different flashes coming up, like heroes' memories are being kind of screwy, and this is like an indicator that the multiverse is falling apart.
Yep,
because
and
of like
hyper time and hyper
time. Yeah, so it's essentially like with like
zero mixed with death metal.
And in a way, it's kind of like Rucka's Rebirth Wonder Woman, where she starts to have all these different. She's like, I don't know what's real or what's not. And so so what happens is that they have to break out Superman. They eventually have to release Superman because they need their biggest gun. But
that's right. But that means we'd have two Supermen.
Oh yeah, that's Superman. Yeah, actually, you know what? Don't break out Superman. Keep him in the Phantom Zone.
Not yet. Anyway,
not yet, because you could have the future one dies, and then the present, if you will, is broken out as a last resort.
But I exactly, and but I'm thinking for a moment they're about to release him, but he's like, no, I'm still, and by this point I'm still angry at you.
Yeah, and then it's like he says, "I don't need you. I have Kara. She's you."
Yep, and then you have, and like I said, Terry would try and tell Bruce where he's going, and I'm thinking even Bruce is realizing like you ended up being you were alone when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
You just passed away last year, but you did your best. But you were sad. You were miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what, and I even said like that. One of the last things you told me on your deathbed before you passed was you should have done more to help Clark.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because
how that sound? That would have been his last words. Like, I should have done more to help Clark.
Yeah, because that's the other issue with Injustice. Because when you think about it, Bruce's inaction led to Clark taking that dark step, including killing Oliver. Because Bruce, like, guessing Superman purely because at the time all Superman did was kill the Joker.
Now, granted, Batman would hold it against him, especially if Superman is just being blasé about it. Batman would take that personal, but not to the group. But he would not be like, "I don't want to talk to you." He would try and talk him down for no other reason than at least convince him to turn himself in.
Yes, exactly. And then what Superman could do to convince, and then we'll bring this up. What we thought Superman could do to earn his trust is says, "Put a kryptonite bomb in my neck," essentially.
Yeah.
That way, if I turn you, and I'm going to trust you with the detonator. So if you think that I'm going down this path, just blow my head off.
Yep, and I'm thinking that when they do release the other Superman, they do that to him as well before he does anything.
Yeah, because remember that Superman is still depowered, because what we would establish is the gold kryptonite is temporary, but obviously he would still be depowered because he hasn't been exposed to the sun in a while.
That's true, and here's the other thing people forget: the Phantom Zone resets your internal biology. It's why, for example, with Mon-El, there was a point when he was given a cure. Unfortunately, from his lead poisoning, or at least it was able to block it. But the moment he goes back in the Phantom Zone, his body reverts back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like Jane Foster with Mjolnir reversing the chemo.
Yeah, exactly. So Superman, so the Justice League reassembles, if you will. Everyone's obviously really suspicious of Superman because you just had another opportunity of redemption, and then you can have it where like Kara and Bruce are like, we thought that against Brainiac you were becoming your old self again, but you weren't. How do we trust you now?
So now again, this would still, if this will be released now, which Superman we talking about? Are we thinking about present who's been re-released?
Future.
To which he says like, You're just going to have to take my word for it. That's all I can offer you.
Yeah. So the game progresses. Eventually, we get to the confrontation, and what we
Right. Who are the
discover-
other? We never discussed who would be the villain. The other enemy opponent.
other enemy opponents. Okay, so what you could have is like so
Dark multiverse versions.
yes, dark multiverse versions of the heroes themselves, like Wonder Woman, Superman, like Martian Manhunter. Even no, here's what you do: you make it's dark multiverse versions of the heroes that Superman has killed.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Like Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow, all the heroes that Shazam.
Mm-hmm. But
So
at
it's
the
like-
very
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but at the very end, we then have it be who's the final one that the Anti-Monitor would then bring in to help, and to help him, he would then bring Ultraman in, who the first thing he would say is, like what you done with the place.
Yes, there you go.
Have
So-
Ultraman enjoy what Injustice Superman did, and it to screw you to Tom Taylor.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yes, exactly. So what you would then discover, so Robert and I also explain why these characters are acting wildly out of character.
Basically, if we know this was more fit if we have Perpetua more so than the Anti-Monitor. Because
Well,
Perpetua
what we would
this
do,
more.
I think what we decided is that the Anti-Monitor would be the penultimate boss. In other words, you beat the Anti-Monitor and then you fight Perpetua.
So you would have, it would be a 3-step thing. You'd have Parallax
Yeah.
as the Disc 1 final boss.
Yeah.
And then you would have the Anti-Monitor, then Perpetua. Perpetua has been filling the universe with crisis energy, which has been affecting their history.
Because
She
what
would
had
even say,
happened
like-
is
Yeah.
she was doing this to weaken this world so it can be invaded. So what she did is she infested with crisis energy so the heroes would fight amongst themselves.
But it would also change their history. Hence why they even said, like, you didn't even notice, Diana, and how your history changed. It was more recent, but for you, it was a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically referencing that she didn't always have the whole Nazi Steve part of her origin. That was something that the crisis energy caused between 1 and 2.
So, and what we do here is that here, to be clear, Robert and I had a long discussion about this particular part that we're talking about right now, because we're not retconning out everything that these characters have done. What we're just adding more context as to why these characters act in this way.
Yep, and also one thing I want to avoid: no saying it was mind controlled, no saying it's not the real one.
No, it is. Well, in the universe, it is. There's no like. Unfortunately, I for the purpose of this story, we're not doing. It was Cersei all along.
No, we're not going to be like, oh, it's the real Diana somewhere out there, and we've never seen her before, because that would go. It is like no.
Save that for Tom King's Wonder Woman. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm only kidding, brother. So essentially, what you so the fight happens, and obviously the heroes win. Spoiler alert: the heroes win. Now, the ending scene is first Superman and Wonder Woman say goodbye, but they give up their powers, like permanently. They're both depowered.
Now this is something Jared and I kind of disagreed with, but I still stand by my reasoning. I personally feel the two also go their separate ways. They do not get together. My argument is because that's rewarding Diana. It's what she wanted. It's what she wanted. She wanted Clark to love her. And if we have them get together, then that justifies all the horrible things he did in the long run. And even if that's not intentional, that's how people would look at it as.
Now, the way I kind of see it is that she's still being punished in that she has been stripped of her mantle and power. She has lost everything.
Yes, but like I said, but if she gains Clark, which is what's driving her this whole time, that's her reward.
Although, wait, not necessarily, because arguably the whole reason why she sided with Superman was to subjugate man.
Well, you have that, but as far as we've been seeing in the games, as far as everyone's been calling her out on, it's because she wanted
in the
Superman
games. In the
Yeah.
game, she says man's world had to be pacified.
That's true. But then once you have Hartley also calling her out. On
Well,
the
yeah, of
obsession,
course. But so the point is, either they go their separate ways or they don't. If they go their separate ways, the dialogue that they will have is, in another life, we could have been something.
If we were younger.
If we
Or
were
if
younger.
if we met sooner.
That's a reference to New 52. And then the last shot is Clark visits a little grave in Smallville, and it's of Lois Lane, or Lame in my case, and their baby son. It's the grave.
And
That's
Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. And the Kents. Yeah, and Jonathan. So, and then the final pan out is Superman walks away from the grave, and then it pans down on Lois on the gravestone. Game fades to black. Game over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Taladia, what do you think of that story?
There's a lot to take in. There's so much to take in. I can say it's a good story. I can tell you that. Good story.
All right, so wait, so let me ask you this: do you think, in light of what Robert and I said, do you think Superman and Wonder Woman should still get together at the end? And Barry, again, they're not powered. Essentially, either Connor becomes Superman, or Kara assumes Superman's role, and Donna becomes Wonder Woman.
I think what you just said now.
So they do.
So you're saying they do get together, or
Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so they become Super Wonder Woman without powers, right? So they become powerless. Get it?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I see what you're saying, Robert, and I agree with you. It's just they have both lost everything. Hey, what's up, Gray? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'll be on there again, but it's great to see you again, brother. It's been a long time.
Yeah, but again, I'm just looking at also how audiences would look at it, and that would not make them happy. They would say, "Oh, that's BS. She's getting what she wanted, and it justifies all of her actions."
Doesn't justify, because again, I agree with you. Let me put it this way, Robert. If they both kept their powers, I would agree with you on that. It's just the fact that they lost pretty much everything.
But again, I'm just saying, this is the one thing everyone has looked at Wonder Woman as. She's simping. She's the super Wonder simp.
I got that. It would be and these same people would still praise DCAU Wonder Woman, but okay.
Oh yeah.
But by Robert, again, your way of doing it is also good. It's not like saying that's a bad story.
Oh, no,
that has meant
they'll still be friends. I'm just saying that they never get in a relationship, and they do go their separate ways, and we leave it ambiguous. I think do it that way. Just when we see them, they go their separate ways. We don't have to make it definitive. They don't get together.
Here's what we do. Tell me if this would be a compromise. Skip the in another life thing. Here's what you do. The last scene opens up, and we do the graveyard visitation. Then, as Clark turns around, he looks and sees Diana standing on a hillside, and then he just walks away. It's ambiguous. Do they get together or do they not?
Yeah, did he walk towards her or is he walking away from her?
Yeah, you don't specifically show it.
I got something.
We have him in the center frame, so we don't even see what angle he's going.
Yes, exactly. What do you want to say, Taladia?
I got an option.
Okay.
You guys give an option to the player whether they get with Wonder Woman or they don't get with Wonder Woman.
That's something there. But
that'll be a kind of meaningless choice at the end because we're not going to ever see anymore.
Well, and plus, here's the thing, Talia. It would be one thing here's the thing. They did do the whole choose your ending part in Injustice 2.
Which actually, that's something else I was thinking of. We actually, maybe instead of, we could also have Ultraman show up, but we could also have the other Superman, the one that won, be brought in.
True. I think let's keep the multiverse alternate Superman down to a minimum.
Oh, no, this is an alternate timeline. This is not an alternate universe.
I know, but just keep it to a minimum because it's going to get really confusing and bombastic.
So instead of Ultraman, we go with the alternate ending Superman. I say we do that.
Like the Brainiac Superman.
Yeah, the Brainiac Superman.
Here's what you do. if you really want, so this all leads to Superman not killing you. Or here's what you do: you have the option. Superman has that evil Superman in a headlock, and you have the option: kill him or not.
And if they kill him, we get a not a bad ending, but a bittersweet ending.
A more. Here's what you do, Robert. If he kills him, yeah, Superman and Wonder Woman don't get together. Or if he spares him, and you could still have it where like he dies by other means, but not by Superman's hands. That's when you get the good ending, and it's like, yeah, they've caused it's stuff has gone wrong, but because Superman chose not to kill at this moment, he gets something.
I'm thinking since he chose not to kill, he actually still keeps his powers, but stays as a, if you need me to help show the light, I'll be here, but I just can never go back in the spotlight. But if he does kill, that's when he loses his powers.
Yeah, I would say so. And then if he doesn't kill, I'd say that's when you go with he can be with Wonder Woman.
Now, of course, I just realized though, given how this is Injustice and Ed Boon be involved, we need Batman to still have some major figure portion into this.
I got it. Batman sacrifices himself to take out Perpetua.
Ooh.
You take that element of Zack Snyder's Justice League and that make it where he makes the sacrifice play.
But what about Terry, since I had him go back in time?
Terry sticks around as the main Batman. We can make it where like his time travel device is destroyed in the battle.
All right. And he even says like, now one thing we'd have to make clear is it's like, so what if, and aren't you going to disappear? To which he would say, that's not how time travel works. If it did, just by coming back here, I'd already disappear.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can have the last thing Batman says to Terry is, thank you for giving me another chance. In other words, to do things right by Clark.
Yep. And it'll be a nice farewell, even though it's not going to be Kevin. Obviously, I say Roger Craig Smith, but passing the mantle to Will Friedle.
Yeah, and by the way, Cameron, what we're doing is we're basically wargaming what a story of Injustice 3 could be to maybe redeem the franchise. Because if you do this, because what this story does is it has them admit the mistakes of the character developments of the past, but not retcon them out. They still happen, but they're like, we give them the option to redeem themselves. So, because that's my thing. I would have significantly less issues with Injustice 2 if they gave you the option. Because here's the other thing with Injustice 2 with their choice system. Either way, Superman is still evil.
Oh, here's something else. What if Batman is given as Batman, we're given the option, forgives. Okay.
Forgive Superman.
Here's where it goes. This is a
Robert
branch.
I got it.
It's going to be multiple branches.
Okay, here's one. One of the choices. If you choose to forgive Superman, there was a blast about to hit Superman, like Darkseid's Omega Beams. Batman jumps in front of Superman and takes the blast.
Yeah.
Because that way essentially Batman goes, well, why did you do that after everything I've done? And then Bruce quotes an old thing that Clark said before he turned evil. He said, everyone is worthy of redemption.
Yep.
And then that is what, that one thing, we can make the canon ending where Superman doesn't kill. That's what happens. He hears that in his head and he goes, enough killing.
Yep. But if Batman doesn't do it, I think then, what will be the other choice, though?
There's so much to take in, guys.
There's no way NetherRealms would do this many multiple endings. They would not do this many.
No, I think don't make it a choice. Just have Batman sacrifice himself.
All right. Well, I'm just thinking if they were to do a choice. But yeah, the choice should be for Superman alone. Yeah,
because Superman is the one that technically started all this, even though it's the Joker, kind of. Would all the heroes get redemptions? Not necessarily all of them, but the ones that got the biggest, that were crapped on the most. And by the way, I know, NJ, but what we're doing, we're trying to avoid that. In other words, they still made these mistakes, but we're trying to better explain them or give them opportunities to say that was a mistake.
Exactly, because no one's gonna like that. I'm sorry.
Because
no,
easily, yes, of course, and she's right. They're right. That is the easiest option.
but
That
just because
Elizabeth said it.
just because it's the easiest doesn't mean it's gonna be the one everyone really wants.
Yeah, because if you do it the way that we just outlined, what that essentially does is it acknowledges the past games, it acknowledges the past material, but it says, okay, it actually says we were not ourselves back then, or it takes some of the responsibility off of the heroes,
But not all.
Not all. Not all.
It's like revealing how Parallax was a separate entity. But making it clear he did not control Hal. Now he does here. I want to make this clear. In this version, Hal has been is both. Here's the redemption for this Hal. Even though he becomes Parallax, he held up. He had been corrupted since the first game. He just didn't know it. And that's why he became a Yellow Lantern.
Before the first game. Since he got the Yellow Lantern ring on him, I think is what we said.
Exactly. But he's been holding off and fighting Parallax up until the Batman Beyond time.
And by the way, Tevia, okay, no, we would not use Darkseid because here's the thing. I don't want to make this overly complicated.
Yeah. Again, and that though, Darkseid.
It's obvious though.
Darkseid would not team up, and I'll say this: Darkseid's powerful. Darkseid's dangerous, but teaming up with Parallax, nuh-uh.
No, there's no way. Darkseid would be fighting. Honestly, Darkseid would kind of maybe to advance his own like agenda, team up with the heroes against these guys. He's like, if they win, I'm gone too. So
we did have an alternate idea.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the other one. This game is a three-way villain faction.
Mm-hmm.
Darkseid, Trigon, and the Lords of Chaos and Evil, and the Lords of Chaos and Order.
Which they set up in Injustice 2 in some ways.
Yes, so we could have it be, that's what it ends up being. That's the other idea of what the threat is.
Yeah, exactly.
And Parallax could be the entity, the wild card.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, Parallax needs to be involved, I feel.
And then if we were going with the Trigon thing, Trigon was like subtly influencing and corrupting the heroes, which is why they acted out of order. Either way, the heroes are being influenced by an outside entity to make them act in this way.
But influence, not mind control.
They still made the choice. Because again, if we do mind control, then it just invalidates everything.
That's a cop-out. That is, I hate to say it's the easiest, but it's a cop-out.
Yeah, exactly. We still want to have the consequences of what happened, because either way, we still have the ending at the end where like either Superman gives up his powers or this way. Either way, Superman and Wonder Woman are not like outward heroes anymore.
Idea for Superman. If we keep it as the Antimatter, after he defeats him, there's a brief moment where Superman does see all the different Earths, but the last one he sees, the one where it lingers on, is one with him, Lois, and their son.
Yeah, he sees like the good Earth.
He sees the one of what could have been, and at least he accepts the fact that there's a world where things went well.
Yeah,
that's good enough for him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like the Mess of the Universe one where it just drove him insane. In this case, no, that's good enough for him.
Yeah, exactly. And then Morju says, and then Batman sacrificing himself. Here's where I redeem Wonder Woman. Finally gets it through Wonder Woman's head that mankind is good.
That too. He saved Diana, not Superman.
There you go. Here we go. Robert, I got it. He does that. He saves Diana, and then Diana goes, "Why did you save me, Bruce?" And he goes, "Because you're my contingency plan for him."
Mm-hmm. And then she talks sense into Clark, and but again, it's still
because here's the thing: what you do is, because remember, in Injustice 2, she was the one egging him to kill Brainiac. If she tells him there's been enough death,
exactly. But again, it's the player's choice.
It's still the player's choice, but it's the player's choice of whether or not Superman listens to Wonder Woman.
Exactly. But again, this is only done for his evil self.
Yeah, and then the last thing she says is, Cal, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he kills them, that's when they don't get together, because it's essentially like, I didn't trust you.
Oh, I just thought of something else.
Yeah.
What if, taking a little bit of a page from Injustice Master Universe, her future self kills Damien,
Okay.
just to be another body bag on her list?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But now,
So-
wait, we don't realize, how do we deal with future Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman kills her and says, "You are not me.
Exactly.
I refuse to end up like you."
Exactly.
Or wait.
Oh, but
No.
and then her
I
last
got
word-
it, dude.
What?
She takes out Injustice Wonder Woman and then takes her armor and says, "You are not worthy of being an Amazon."
Ooh, but I'm saying, if she dies, then that future Diana could say, then mission accomplished, or something like, this is what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
All right,
how's that
Mac.
sound? This was her intention, to change, to convince her other self to give it up.
Yeah, that would work. And by the way, yeah, Mac, I see what you're saying, but again, we're not doing the everyone's like replaced or anything like that, because again, it's a cop out.
Yeah.
We're trying to work with what's established without retconning it out.
Yeah, but now that though, but you're that's too much of MKX.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking enough from MK11 as it is. Let's not take anything from MKX.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said,
What do you guys think? So Taladia, what do you think of our massive Injustice 3 story?
There's so much to take in. My mind is blown.
Yeah, I know. So we thought of this in one phone call. We were like, how would we do this? Oh, okay, there you go. And by Cameron says, honestly, I would have Diana make the decisions because her home was wiped out. Would that work? No.
It has to be Superman.
It has to be Superman, based upon the fact that he was the pusher through all of this.
I mean, I'll be honest, having it be all Diana would be good for people like Jared, but let's be honest, viewers are not going to want that. Gamers are not going to want that.
Robert and I gave her redemption, and that's what we need. All we did is we made it so she's like, she can even say, I here's what you do. You have it where when Diana kills evil Wonder Woman, she goes, you are not me. And that kind of in two ways, that kind of goes, I wasn't myself when I was you. So it kind of goes like, I wasn't acting like myself.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's what you do. You do it slow scale, so it's less contrived and convoluted.
Oh, I want to make this one clear. Even if we have Perpetua, I would say, actually, I realize it's Perpetua. She shouldn't be like the actual force we fight. Dow's still the anti-monitor, but she's the one overseeing it all. But when the anti-monitor is taken out, she's cut off.
Robert, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very Jared idea, but bear with me for this. So the last battle, you're playing a Superman. You're fighting evil Superwoman. You're fighting Lois Lane with powers.
Dude.
No, because if Superman fights her, and then...
Dude, that would be a coming out of nowhere type of final
true.
boss. And no one likes those. No one likes the out of nowhere final bosses.
I'll give you that. Even I couldn't justify this. I'm not trying to be... beyond me being petty, which this is not what this is about.
No,
I can't justify that.
Him having to beat up Lois, that could be somewhere else beforehand, not the final battle.
Because when you think about it, the final battles for both Superman and Wonder Woman is against their final selves, if you will.
Well, I still say the final battle would be against the anti-monitor.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. The Perpetua essentially. Here's what you do. This is a cop out, but still. So you beat the anti-monitor, and then Perpetua possesses his body.
For one more round.
For one more round, essentially. That's it. That's what you do. And then what you can do, what Robert and I thought of, because the anti-monitor is so powerful, when you fight him, every time his health gets kind of low, you switch heroes. In other words, now it's Batman, and now it's Supergirl, and now it's Wonder Woman.
Can't be Batman by this point.
Well, yeah, it's Supergirl, Hal Jordan, and then eventually the last two to fight him are Superman and Wonder Woman. Superman delivers the final blow
based off of your choice with his other self.
Yeah, so that's the way it works. Now, for the rest of this episode, let's have some fun here. Let's talk about the character roster that we would be able to play as for Injustice in the entire game. Let's do this.
Okay.
Obviously, He-Man, please.
Well, He-Man, again, unfortunately, they don't have the rights to He-Man comics currently, so that'd be the issue.
But please figure out a way, because I want He-Man versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah, or and the very least, also reference like, it's like you again.
Here's the good Batman villain that we could use. Hush.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Prometheus.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
Prometheus versus Deathstroke.
Yes. Mortal Kombat and Hellboy are a must. Yes, exactly. But
Hellboy's already been used.
Yeah, he's already been in there. So, but yes, Prometheus, Taladia. What a pick.
Oh, and you know what? He could definitely be one of the he's the leader of the Injustice League.
Yes. By the way, Invincible.
Oh, wait. Here's another one. Now, I don't know if this one could be an actual in the story or just a guest character, but Owlman, but the one from what's his name? March.
Dude, yes. Oh,
Bruce's
Rose Wilson. That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I would love that. And then you could also have.
Okay, here's a big question.
Yeah.
What do we do? Another character we need to sing our song, Cyborg. He got really screwed over.
Okay, in that case, can we please... This is the part where I do the cop-out and say it was a computer virus.
Oh, Grid!
It was Grid the entire... They even set it up!
They already used Grid.
No, but do you really think that was all of Grid that was in his system?
True.
And plus, it was like Brainiac and stuff, so it's believable.
Superboy Prime. No
Superboy Prime or Dr. Manhattan, because he's way too powerful.
Man, Captain Atom, though.
Captain Atom would be a good one.
And
Is he still alive?
Oh, no, you're right.
No, but wait. We got to use Martian Manhunter in one. Who cares?
Well, now that you have guest character or Lobo, and he's supposed to be dead by that point.
Yeah, you could
do. And here's Manhattan can be an alternate skin.
Yeah, how about this? Cersei. Or Cersei as an alternate skin for Wonder Woman. So we're not doing the story thing, but it would still be a reference to that.
Wait. I thought this of a way we could still have Cersei be involved with the story mode.
What?
We have it be Cersei taken over the Amazon island during this. Like she sees the insanity going on, a future Wonder Woman showing up, so she decides to make a move and attack, and we can actually have it be someone theorizes maybe Cersei's been manipulating Wonder Woman, but then Cersei says, actually no, I've been trapped away for the past couple decades, so I just got out.
That works. And by the way, so another character we can use, Mira. Oh, Cameron, a man after my own heart. Grail. That's the line. After all these years, you know better than I am. That's the line.
I will say this. If we have it be Darkseid instead of the Anti-Monitor, we can still have Grail be involved. Or Grail, no, better yet, Grail and the Anti-Monitor is using Grail to make sure, and that can be, if Darkseid's involved, Grail takes him out.
There you go.
Because she's been empowered by the Anti-Monitor.
I like that.
Yeah, because basically, that's right. The whole point of the story is a little bit of death metal, but a lot of it's just 0 hour mixed with Darkseid War.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, Jessica Cruz. For the love of God, please.
Oh, she'll be the main lantern of this game.
Yeah, she needs to be. We could say that like Hal is trying to secure the galaxy at the time. We'll find some way to get Hal off planet, but it's like we can make it where.
Now he does stop himself.
Yeah, he does stop himself. He purges it. We can have that one of those epic moments where Hal purges himself of Parallax.
Oh, here's where I saw another character we need to resolve. We have Terry meet up with Harley. Now Harley is good, but then Terry reveals something. He then says, "Yeah, I don't buy it." What do you mean? In my timeline, you snapped again. You try to redo it. I'm sorry, but then basically he beats the crap out of her, and that's when she finally has this like, "You're right. No matter what, I did so much wrong. I make sense that I snapped again."
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, no one's like that with Harley. I do not. No one has liked that Harley has just been forgiven.
Yeah, I know.
So
But
we reveal that, yeah, in the future she snaps again, and thus this basically by realizing that she turns herself in. She stops trying to be a hero.
that works. Giganto and Clarion. Yeah, we could use either of those. That works.
Giganta would be a different type of boss fight, though.
Yeah, and I'm just saying as like a character that we could play as in like versus modes and stuff.
Okay, or challenge mode. She's on
challenge modes. Yeah, that works. I just realized that Green Arrow and Black Canary and Harley Quinn also have kids in Injustice. Oh, no. This isn't that far in the future, Tavia. We're not adding kids. So
No.
we can make it where like Harley Quinn decides I'm not going to be a hero. I'm just going to shed the personality, and she goes and raises her daughter.
Exactly.
We don't necessarily say she's evil or anything like that. She just goes and does her own thing.
Yeah, basically what Terry made clear was she, in trying to force herself to be a hero, is what causes her to snap.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yep, and as far
Who else would? How would we do Damian Wayne?
Oh, he's Batman.
Yeah, I like that.
He's also a Batman. He's also a Batman.
Ooh, we do a battle for the cowl-like thing.
Oh, maybe. Or Batman Inc.
Batman Inc. I think that would work a lot better. And
Okay,
then what we could have is Terry becomes the main Justice League Batman, but Damian becomes his own Batman as a tribute to his father.
I suggested Diana kills him.
Oh yeah, okay. So he's done. He's done.
Yeah, that was a suggestion. We don't have to, but
we could. Assuming we don't. Let's say we don't. He becomes Batman as a tribute to his father, and then Terry says, "I have to be on the Justice League when I'm not. I'm gonna be very busy on the Justice League."
You know this Gotham better than I do.
Yeah, so you be the Gotham Batman.
Now,
because they did that.
Okay, dude, I just realized something. Okay, rather than save him towards the end, we have the evil Superman bring in relatively, at least by the midway point, and as with him and his league, they're trying to do the same thing onto this world.
Okay.
All right, so that's because knowing the Antimatter, he wouldn't want them to totally destroy everything yet.
Yeah. All right. So Taladia, what characters would you want to be added to Injustice 3?
I would just say as a regular non-story character and a base character, Dr. Light.
Of course, Robert.
Well, come on.
Go ahead, Taladia.
You're gonna hate me for this.
Who? Tom King?
No, Dr. Phosphorus.
Phosphorus?
Yeah.
Why would he hate
you?
you?
Oh, because Creature Commandos, but no, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And you know what? An alternate skin could be Blight. His alternate skin would be Blight from Batman.
Maybe even Atomic Skull.
Maybe.
Is Atomic Skull alive in it? Well, actually, it doesn't matter because the side characters, they could be dead characters.
Yeah.
Hawkman.
Yep. That's a good one.
Taylor Hall. There you go.
Okay. What other guest character? Oh, Invincible.
Yes. Captain Boomerang.
That too.
Because they've had Harley, they've had Deadshot. We need Captain Boomerang.
Why? Or is there Captain Boomerang or Captain Cold?
And by the way, Tavia, we had Jason Todd in Injustice 2, but you could do Tim Drake. You could just have it be a guest character.
A guest character, yeah, because
you can't do Tim Drake. You can't.
Yeah, you can, but remember. No. Because remember, Taladia, you could use Martian Manhunter in Injustice 1, and he was dead by the time the game starts.
Ooh. Mary Marvel.
Okay, that works. We do need more Wonder Woman. Here's what they would never do this, but what I would do is I would have like they're assembling like the Antimatter's assembling their league, and then they go, "Hey, what about the Sovereign?" And then Antimatter says, "That old coot, he's no threat."
No. better yet, Cersei just, basically, okay, here's something. Here's an idea. You're going to love this. The Sovereign, in like the very beginning of the game, we're having the Sovereign shows up trying to just, do a smear campaign against the current regime. But then he said, but then it says his body was found dead in his home by someone. And all they found was an Amazonian blade. And that's when it was revealed that Cersei put the hit on him. How's that sound?
I like that.
And
that.
And that could be something that starts some infighting because everyone wants to know, like, who killed this guy? I mean, yeah,
everyone suspects it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, he was scum, but he was still, like a human being.
He was very uncreative.
Okay,
yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But,
you mean?
Yeah.
Who's the Shazam villain that's a worm?
Mr. Mind.
Oh, Mr. Mind. Yeah, but how would you do him?
Yeah, how would you do that? A giant caterpillar attack?
Oh, wait, no. He, his main attack form is that moth form from 52.
Oh yes, that works. I like that one.
But that'll be a weird fight. That's not a humanoid.
For a guest character, Booster Gold.
Yep.
Because we've had Blue Beetle, so kind of have to at this. Max Lord. But so he could fight them, he's in an OMAX suit. Yep, there you go. Don't tell me you guys weren't thinking that.
No, and then he'll say the line, life can be good, but you can make it better.
Yeah. Tavia, Constantine, voiced by Jay Heat. Bloody hell.
Oh, bloody hell.
But
Taladia, as the resident Brit, how's it feel seeing Americans do a British accent?
Cringe.
Yeah, thank you. Will you guys? Yes, I love Grail. I would love for Grail to be a character. She can be a Wonder Woman skin because they did that in Injustice 2, where like Reverse Flash was actually a Flash skin that was like swapped out, but you could do that and have her be like something. Yeah, 100%. I think she would work. Particularly the line that she used where he says, "After all these years, you're no better than I am." I love that line.
Yep,
love it. But I think that is a good place to leave this episode. What do you guys think of it? Of the Injustice thing? Let me go this way. If this is the story for Injustice 3, I think that this could actually be like a good game. But anyway, so Robert, where can we find you and what have you got coming on your channel?
Yeah, I've got some Pro Teachers Noobs in the can. You can see me down my link down below. And yeah.
How about you, my good friend Taladia?
I will be returning to YouTube next week as I'll be doing CinemaCon coverage for WB panel as the Superman promotion and all of that. I'll be covering that. And I'll be doing some streams with Jay Heat. And on top of that, I'm doing the podcast, making a return with that, with a new guest coming on the panel. Yeah.
So apparently breaking news. WB Games has canceled Hogwarts Legacy DLC and the definitive edition.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about after
they canceled all of that.
Yeah.
Wait. What else did they cancel?
Definitive edition
of Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. The sequel is still in development.
Wonder why they canceled the definitive edition.
They said it said the whole thing is because of a ongoing restructuring.
They probably realize they're not going to be able to squeeze much more money out of a definitive edition.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's a CLD topic for sure. But anyway, so in terms of Comics League, I'll be on Weird Science this week, ranting about Wonder Woman 19.
And tomorrow, don't forget tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and then I'll be on Nardette's newsstand again tomorrow for the first time in like a really long time. And in terms of like Comics League content, you can movie night, I'm gonna get with Jay Heat and coordinate on what his movie's gonna be. But then as for Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I will be going live. This is a live episode this week to compare Superman and Wonder Woman to Invincible and Adam Eve from Invincible. So we'll be doing that. And yeah, that's what I got so far. So stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe is a Maxibat for life. And Steve Trevor, Steve Never. He belongs 6 feet in the ground. I will see you later. Bye-bye.